everybody. Welcome to Agent Mastermind. I'm Scott Hudspeth, your host, and I have a dear friend and partner with me. I think everybody knows him, but if not, you soon will. He is the owner of the Marketing Animals, known for video marketing all across the U.S., and just does an amazing job helping people one-on-one and as a group and worldwide. So I'm just honored to be considered his friend and partner. And Carl White, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good, brother. And first of all, thanks for letting me be on today. And guys, for you agents on today's call, you know, I really want you to reach out to your loan officers and thank you for for all this cool stuff that they're bringing to you guys. I mean, the sole purpose that everybody's on today's call is to help you build your business. And you wouldn't be here today if a great loan officer wasn't looking out for your best interest and sent you the invitation, because that's the only way that you can get here. So I just encourage you to reach out, let them know that you appreciate it, and you know, help them help you, as they say. So
absolutely cool.
So what we're going to
talk about today, man?
So what we're going to talk about today is what we call the low-hanging fruit, or farming your database. And you know, one thing that I learned a long time ago, Scotty, is that we aren't in the real estate business. We're in the marketing to our database business. And
Absolutely.
I think, you know, an example of this, I'll tell you something. Did you guys know, like, if I was to ask you how many tennis shoes Nike owns, how many tennis shoes does Nike own? Well, the answer is...
Or how many have they made?
Yeah, how many tennis shoes has Nike made? And the answer is 0. Nike doesn't own shoes, and Nike doesn't even make shoes. Nike is, by definition, a marketing company. They just happen to market tennis shoes. So the Nike company itself has never made a tennis shoe. They farm all that out. So they understand a long time ago that the money wasn't in making of the tennis shoes. They don't even make tennis shoes. They buy them from third-party people. A lot of people don't know that, but Nike does not make tennis shoes. Nike markets tennis shoes made by other people. So Nike doesn't own one factory or employ one factory owner. None. Not at all. Never have.
Crazy.
They're strictly a marketing company, and we need to take that lead in our real estate business and to understand that we're in the marketing to our database business. And by the way, if you're going to market, you know, it's one thing to market like billboard marketing, newspaper marketing, radio marketing. That's one thing. That's kind of the high-hanging fruit. That's converting non-believers that you're the person that they should work with. And I'm going to tell you, the first place to spend your marketing dollars is to market to your own database. That's the low-hanging fruit that everybody ignores, and we're going to show you how to do it today in the 3 major fashions. And the 3 major fashions is, number 1, picking up the number 1 money-making activity you can do. Pick up that phone. Pick up the phone call and call them 3 times a year. We're going to give you the scripts here in just a few minutes. But pick up the phone and call these people. And Scotty, I know we talked about it, but we didn't want to, you know, kind of put anybody on the spot here because we like to be cool. But if we was to post a survey right now of how many real estate agents have called their database in the last 6 months, our studies show us that it'd be somewhere in the neighborhood of about 2%. About 2% of the real estate agents have picked up the phone and called their database. And oddly enough, if you used to look at that 2%, Scotty, we know that those would be the high producers in any one particular market.
Those would be the top 2% in the country, for sure.
You're exactly right. So we understand a lot of it's a little bit of a call reluctance, and what do I say? So we're going to give you the very specific scripts that actually work here on today's call. And the second thing to do is to email out to your database. And we recommend doing some sort of an automated program. And a lot of the loan officers on today's call, a lot of them have access to email database programs where they can co-brand. In other words, that you can give your database to the loan officer, and they can have a co-branded email go out with both of your informations on it, and it be done automatically. Or you can have your own, of course, as your real estate agent. You can have your own. So email out once a week, and we're going to tell you what you should email out. And more importantly, we're going to show you what not to email out. And then number 3, snail mail. And we recommend snail mailing once a month, and we're going to give you some samples of some mailers too. That's a little bit different than what maybe some of you are used to. So, Scotty, let's jump right into some scripts for the phone call. Sound good?
I love it. Yeah, and I think this is probably the biggest problem is in this really, truly, I think comes confidence with it. What do I say? When? How often do I do it? And, I like sorry if I'm jumping ahead, but the one guy that you said goes through the alphabet because there's, 26 letters in the alphabet?
Yes.
50. So he calls his database twice a year, but he does A1, A1 week, B's second week, C's. So he consciously does it, and it's amazing the production that he does. So, yeah, as far as what to say, how to say it, I think that's where we're going here.
Yeah, and that's a good point, Scotty. So let's talk about this for a second. And by the way, we've had some people say, "Hey, do we get a copy of the PowerPoint and the recording in the scripts of today's call?" Absolutely, there's no charge for that, and just contact the loan professional that sent you here, and they have access to the recordings and the PowerPoints and the PDFs and any kind of links we have. They have all that. So again, there's no charge for that. Just contact the loan professional that sent you here, and they'll be happy to hook you up with that. So, yeah, so on calling, so there's two methods to do this, Scotty. Like what you just said is the method number one is to call them once a week. And let's say, I don't know, I don't think it really matters what day. Let's say you're going to call them on, say, Wednesdays, where you call everybody in your database that starts with the last name of A, you call them this week. Next Wednesday, everybody with B. The next Wednesday, everybody with C, and so forth, because like you said, there's 26 letters in the alphabet, and by doing that, you're calling your database twice a year, which is very, very good. Another way, and we're going to show how to do that, is just to sit down in one day and hammer out and call your entire database in one day. Now, keeping in mind that the average person, the average real estate agent is going to have about 300 people in their database. Some of you might be just getting started off and have 50. Some of you might be seasoned professionals and have, 1,050, but typically somewhere around 300 people. And we're going to show you how you can call all 300 people all in a single day without wearing yourself out. So I kind of like picking one particular day and calling on this day and then waiting, waiting about 4 months and then call them again and then waiting about 4 months and calling them again. And I'll show you why here in just a second. But let's go into the scripts here just real quick. So so we're going to talk about the phone calls first, and then we're going to talk about what do you email out and what do you say, and then we're going to show the actual mailers that we send out. So let's start with that.
Okay.
All right. So on the phone call. So this is a very simple script. Now, one thing, Scotty, that our studies have shown us. You and I have done some studies. And also based upon our own personal experience, when you call your database, you're going to hit their voicemail about 70% of the time, about 70% of the time. And so keeping that in mind, we're going to show you a cool little thing that when you're calling, we're going to show you a way that your assistant can make a call, but yet it's your voice heard on their voicemail because, again, you're going to hit voicemail 70% of the time. But let's go over the script real quick, and then we'll talk about how you can do this automatically. So here's the script. So it's, hey, this is Carl from ABC Real Estate, and, hey, I helped you buy your home in the past, and I just want to give you a quick thanks for letting me help out. Gosh, if you ever have any real estate or mortgage questions, or would like a report on the home prices in your neighborhood, please give me a buzz. By the way, I was looking at some home values in your area, and I think you're going to be pleased with what I have to show you. So the best number to reach me at is 555-1212. Hope all's well. Hope to talk to you soon. Oh, also, if you have any friends or family members that could use some honest help, just give me a call about that too. I'd be absolutely honored to help your friends out. So thanks again. I'll talk to you when you call back. Bye-bye. So there's a couple things here. Number one, obviously you're going to separate your database on who's a buyer and who's a seller and use it appropriately, right? But you see here we did a couple things. We said, number one, I was looking at some home values in your area, and if you're a real estate agent, you're looking at home values in all the areas. So it's very, it's extremely likely that you have been looking at values in the area because you want to keep up with what's going on, in the areas that you, that you work in, of course. So, and I think I will be pleased with what I have to show you. As we're doing this today, virtually all markets are up. And so it would be a
Absolutely.
good thing to show most people. So, you know, I don't think you'd say it for every single address in America, but certainly the vast majority, this is going to work. And we also have it in here if you have any mortgage questions. So if you have any real estate or mortgage questions, and you might go, well, wait a minute, I'm a real estate agent, not a mortgage professional. Look, you want to be the contact for your people no matter what they want. If they're calling to ask what the best wine is, you want them calling you to ask you,
Absolutely.
what bottle of wine.
Absolutely.
You want to be the contact person for this. And then once you have mortgage questions, you want to refer that to your friendly loan professional. That way that person stays in the loop with you. You don't want them calling another loan professional that you may or may not have a contact with because they might introduce them to their real estate agent. So you want to be the contact person for this, and that's why we put the mortgage questions in there too. And then the other part here is you look, this is, you know, a classic example of the assumptive close. I'll talk to you when you call back. It's not I'll talk to you if you call back. I talk to you when you call back. And so this simple little script has been working extremely well. Now keep in mind, 70% of the time you're going to hit a voicemail. This is the message that you leave, right?
You know what I like about this the best, Carl, is if who's gonna, like, when they call back and you say, I think you'll be very happy with the home values, which in the whole United States it's pretty much up right now. If they call back and ask about home values, what are they thinking?
They must be
Because
thinking
if you
about,
haven't contacted your database in years, you know, 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 4 year, 5 years, you're going to hit somebody that's thinking about in the near next 6 to 12 months, maybe putting their house up for sale and moving, or maybe they're moving right now. You just never know. So throwing that little carrot out there is going to get them, you know, curious enough to go, hey, what are home values doing? And what they really want to know is it the right time to sell my home, or would I do good by selling my home? So that's a great, great, great script, Carl.
yeah. So this has been working real well for us, and just a nice, simple little script. Again, keeping in mind, 70%, this is going to be a voicemail. So, you know, a lot of times you might go, well, gosh, let's say I'm calling 300 people today. That means that 210 times I'm going to hit their voicemail. So I'm going to be leaving this message 210 times today. Number one, I don't think there's enough time in the day to do that. And number two, even if there was, somewhere around the 10th time that you leave this message, you're going to lose a little bit of the skip in your step, a little bit of the chippery in your voice, and it's going to start to sound like you're reading a script, which, you know, is the kiss of death for us as salespeople. And so there's a clever little thing, and we're going to talk about this on the next class. So this is a little teaser for the next class. There's a clever little system that allows you to, as soon as you hit somebody's voicemail, you push a button, and it leaves this message in your voice that you pre-recorded earlier in the day one time. You pre-record it one time, and then you push that button 210 times when they hit their voicemail. The advantage of doing that is it leaves the perfect message, right, because you did it one time early in the morning when you're bright and chippery. And then let's say you call and hit a voicemail, you push a button, it starts to leave this message. While it's leaving the message, it's an online phone system. While it's leaving a message, it's dialing your next phone number. So let's say if you hit 3 voicemails back to back, it's very likely that it's leaving 3 separate individual voicemails on 3 different phone numbers while you're talking to the 4th one because they actually answered the phone. And so using that system, again, we're going to talk about it next time, using that system, we find that you can call about 300 people a day. If you go freehand, in other words, if you're just calling and leaving messages and talking to people, we find that somewhere around 70 a day. But trust me, if you're even if it's doing 70 a day, you know, in a period of about 4 days, you can go through your database. If you're using this ninja little trick that we're going to show you next week, you can call an entire 300-person database pretty darn easily in about 6 hours, between 5 and 6 hours. So we're finding that we average about 1 phone call per minute because, again, we don't have to leave any voicemails. This thing is leaving it for us as it's dialing the next number. It's a very, very, very cool little thing that we've been using and just getting some outrageous results with it. And by the way, keep in mind, if you are using some sort of an automated system like that, you could have an assistant making the phone calls for you, and 70% of the time they're going to hit a voicemail. So it's your voice leaving that message the 70% of the time while you're doing something else, while you're showing houses, while you're listing houses, while you're fishing or hunting or
Spending time with family.
Yeah, spending time with your friends and family, whatever you want to do, going to a movie, whatever you want to do. So you can either be working on your business or you can be recharging your batteries, which we know is so important to do, while 70% of your database hears your message. So, all right, let's talk about when you get a live answer. So we talked about a voicemail. What happens when you get a live answer?
Cool.
So
if somebody else is calling for you, you could still, I mean, here's the best part about this. You could still use this script, even if I'm the one calling for Carl, like, hey, Carl wanted me to give you a call. He helped you, we helped you. You could say we or whatever, but you could still just insert that in there. So if they do get a live call, why don't you go over that script, but anybody else could still read this script.
No question. No question. So let's look at the live script and show how we would change that up if an assistant's making that for us.
Sounds good.
All right, so this is the live answer. So again, this is 30% of the time. If you're making a phone call, hey guys, so by the way, if you notice in the voicemail script, there's no name. I didn't say, hey Larry, hey Jill. There's no name, right? If on the live, obviously I got their name in front of me. I say, hey Bob, this is Carl over at ABC Mortgage, and hey, I'm sure you remember I helped you sell your home in the past. And just wanted to give you a quick thanks for letting me help out. How you guys doing? Right, and then pause for an answer, give an appropriate response. Say, hey, well, great, glad to hear things are going well for you guys, for you and Jill. Hey, Bob, if you ever have any real estate or mortgage questions, just wanted to give you a call and say thanks, and give me a call when you have any questions. In fact, if you'll grab a pen, I'll give you my number real quick. Pause, let them get a pen. The best number to reach me at, Bob, is 555-1212. Hope all's well. Hope to talk to you soon. Oh, hey, Bob, do you have any friends or family members that are looking to buy, sell, or refinance a home that could use some honest help too? Pause for answer. Right, we've seen these scripts before. This isn't rocket science, right?
Absolutely. Nope.
Here's a part that we added on, Scotty, that I really like. It's this last part. Hey, Bob, can I count on you to give me a call when you do? I'd be honored to help out.
Pause.
Can I count on you, Bob? Pause for answer. Can I count
I love
on you?
that.
Yeah. Nobody's going to say no.
So they got to say yes or no.
Yeah,
nope,
Scotty,
no
can't
problem,
count
I'm gonna
on me.
help you out.
Yep, can't count on me, Scotty. Right? People don't. And when they say yes, you can count on me, it's that subconscious thing that Robert Cialdini talks about in his book Influence. That once you say you're going to do something, you feel compelled. It's in the subconscious mind to do something. You'll get more referrals if you add that one little piece onto your script. Now, keep in mind here, guys. This is a 2-minute phone call, right? Let's be honest. They don't want to talk to you for 20 minutes, right? And let's be honest, you don't want to talk to them for 20 minutes. Everybody's just kind of doing little pleasantries here. And by the way, when you say, how are you guys doing, and they answer, and they say, well, how's it going for you, Carl? See, the tendency then is to go off on a ramble and say, oh, my kids are this, and the real estate business that, and my friend's this, and my vacation that. Don't do it. Don't do it. This phone call is all about them. How you guys doing? They say, Carl, how about you? You know what, Bob? Things are going great here, too. Hey, Bob, let me just say, if you have any real estate questions or mortgage questions, give me a butt. So don't sit there and talk about it. Do not make this a 20-minute phone call. This is a 2 or 3-minute phone call. If you make this a 2 or 3-minute phone call, when you call back 4 months, running through basically the same script, they'll talk to you again. If you keep them on the phone for an hour and they really don't want to be on the phone for an hour, number one, you won't call because you won't have time. And number two, they don't want you to call because they don't want to sit there for an hour. They got things to do in the evening too. Right? So
I think a very important part about this call, guys, is that Carl said it, don't make this about you. If they ask, how are you doing, say, great, the family's doing good. Go right back to them. Keep it about them and keep it real short and sweet.
That is the name of the game. That is the name of the game. Now, let's say your assistant is making these calls for you. It's the same script. You just change it slightly. Hey, say, hey, Larry, this is, because again, 70% of the time, they got a voicemail, and they're pushing that button, and it leaves your voice on their voicemail. So the vast majority of the time, you make the phone call, so to speak. But on the assistant, if they make the call, it would basically go like this. Hey, Larry, this is Carl from Scotty's office over at Scotty's Realty Company. Hey, Scotty helped you with, and I'm just reading it here. Scotty helped, I'm just changing the word I. I'm putting in the word Scotty, or putting in you as the real estate agent, right? Your assistant would mention your name. Scotty helped you with buying your home in the past, and he just wanted me to give you a quick thanks for letting him help you out. How you guys do it? It's the same thing, right? It's the same thing. They're just using Scotty wanted me to ask you, can Scotty count on you to give him a call when you do? He would be honored to help out. It's the same script, guys. It's the exact same script. So this is a very, very, very powerful thing for either you or an assistant to do. And again, using that automated system, you can really burn through it, and we'll talk more about that here on the next class. Now, Scotty, a lot of people don't call because they go, gee, you know what? I haven't talked to these people in 6 months, Carl. I haven't talked to these people in 2 years, and I'd be embarrassed to pick up the phone. Yeah.
Well, they're probably sitting there going, you know what? I cannot believe Carl hasn't called me in 2 years. What a jokester, right? Sells me a house.
See, that's what
hasn't called me. They sit around talking about it, right?
See, that's what we think. So as real estate agent, you might think, well, I haven't called them, and I haven't called them in 2 years. When I call up, they're going to go, gee, Carl, how come you haven't called me? We've been sitting here by the phone every day for the last 2 years waiting. You don't write. You don't call. It hurts, right? That's not what's happening, guys. Look, people think about you or us, all of us, a whole lot less than you think they do. Just call them. I always give this example, Scotty. It's kind of take real estate out of the picture. If like I bought a car a couple years ago for my daughter when she went off to college. I bought her a little Honda car, right? So if the guy that sold me the car was to call me up, here it is 2 years later. Hey, Carl, this is Brian over at Gateway Honda. Hey, just call and see how that Honda's doing for your daughter that you bought a couple years ago. Hey, Brian, how you doing, brother? You know what? It's doing pretty good. Well, Carl, are you looking to buy a new one? You know, I think we're okay for right now, Brian. Hey, well, Carl, can I count on you to hand out my car to somebody when they're talking about mentioning to buy a car? Can I count on you to give me a call? You know what, Brian? Absolutely, you can count on me. I would love to do that, and I would. So I don't sit there and going, hey, you son of a gun, you haven't called me up in the last 2 years. The nerve of you calling me today asking me how I'm doing, right?
Right. I can't believe you just called me and asked me, oh, my God, you like
the nerve.
asked how I was doing. What
the nerve of you, yeah.
The nerve,
so
right.
That's not what's going to happen, guys. So just call them. It's just really that simple. So here's what I want you to do. Here's your action item number one. Action item number one is go grab your calendar as soon as we finish this call and put in the 3 times of the year that you're going to call your database. In other words, maybe you put in, you know, like here's just some examples. Maybe you're going to write on your calendar, I'm going to call this day in the spring or this day in the summer. Or maybe I'm going to call them at the daylight savings times change. I'm going to make that phone call. Or maybe you're the one, you're going to call them throughout the year as time comes on, like maybe their closing date anniversary or maybe their birthday, right? My favorites is like, you know, spring, summer, and time change. I mean, those are my favorites. Now, as we're doing this call here today, I live here in Palm Harbor, Florida, where, you know, it's pretty much, you know, 70 to 80 degrees year-round. And so here they buy houses year-round, so there's no bad time to call. Now, Scotty, you're up in Michigan where, say, like in January and February, housing market probably slows down a little bit, you know, just because.
A little bit, not much,
yeah, a little bit because of the snow and cold weather, or if you're up in Wisconsin, you know, in Green Bay area, it might be a little cold and maybe not buy as much. But you get the idea.
People are in their houses, though.
people, they will answer the phone. That's a great point.
They're by their phones.
That's a great point. So Scotty and I, action item number one is we want you to go put these, go put 3 dates in your calendar of when you're going to call. So go throw that in. Now, again, we're going to talk more about this next week, but the automated system we talked about is Phone Burner, and we're going to give you some scripts on how to use that. Again, Scotty and I have no ownership or you know, we don't know the owners or anything like that. This is just the system that we use when we have our assistants calling and leaving the voicemail. And by the way, we use this. I use this myself in my own business. That
so do I.
When I call my database, even if it's me making a phone call, I use this so it leaves the same voicemail, you know, over and over and over and over and over again when I've got, you know, when I'm just going through my database. So I love PhoneBurner.com. Again, we're going to go more into that next week. So, and Scotty, I would ask everybody on today's call, just real briefly, guys, imagine what your business would look like if you made an additional 300 calls a month and it took a total of about 5 hours or about 1 hour and 15 minutes a week. Imagine what your real estate business would look like if you made an additional 300 phone calls a month with a call to action of either are they looking to buy or sell or refinance, or do they have any friends or family members who are looking to buy, sell for rent? What would your real estate business look like if you made an additional 300 calls a month and it took a total of 5 hours for the month or 1 hour and 15 minutes a week? What would your business look like?
Carl, I would want to ask, what would your business look like if you made 300 calls per year?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So, so guys, do not overcomplicate this. You saw the scripts. Just pick up the phone and call. It's just that simple. So get over it. They haven't been wondering why you haven't called. Just pick up the phone and call them. I was going to say it is a perfect time of year to do that because it's always the perfect time of year to do that. There is no bad time to call. Pick up the phone, call. You're thanking them for their past business. Oh, by the way, you know, and what's his name? Brian Buffini, I think, is the one that popularized the "oh, by the way" thing. But you get the idea. Is just ask them for business. Ask them for their business. Now let's transition. So we talked about calling your database, and we're going to talk about emailing and snail mailing your database. So let's talk about emailing here just for a few minutes. So if we have time here at the end, I'm going to show you some fascinating studies about how often you should send to your database. But the bottom line is, once a week is the highest response, the highest click rate, and get this, guys, the lowest opt-out than if you send something once a month. Once a month is not often enough because they forget who you are in between. So you'll get more response and less opt-outs, not more, less opt-outs if you email your database once a week. But here's the key, guys. If you look at the first bullet point there, don't send real estate info all the time. It's kind of boring. It's kind of boring a little bit, right? So don't send real estate info all the time. Send it some of the times. Give market updates and things like that. But you know what you don't want to do is send out one particular listing to your entire database. That's the quickest way to kill your database. Don't do that. Don't do that. Right? Talk about other stuff. And we have here just some ideas here. Is like one particular thing I like emailing out is video marketing, a simple little video. And we're going to talk about that here in just a few minutes. But on video marketing, we call it the social lubricant. And what that means is like when you send simple little videos out, and we're not talking about complicated, you know, ESPN or CNN quality videos. We're talking about home movies, right? Shot with your smartphone with a buddy holding it or on a little simple tripod. We're not talking about anything fancy, or we're not even talking about some fancy page. We're talking about shooting a short little video using your smartphone, posting it on YouTube, no editing, and a short call to action at the very end, a total of a minute, minute and a half video. And when your database sees you each and every week, each and every week, each and every week on those videos, it is the perfect social lubricant. It's like you're giving them all shots of tequila before you start talking real estate to them. Like if I was to mention John Wayne on today's call, you know, what do you think about? You think about All-American, Apple Pie,
Yeah.
Man's Man, Standing Up for the Little Guy. And my guess is nobody on this call has ever met him, but yet we all feel like we know him. Or if you pick somebody, I don't know, Brad Pitt, whoever, fill in whatever star that you want to. You feel like you know these people and you've never met them. Why is that? Through video. And anytime they come to town, everybody wants to, you know, go up and meet them and get their autograph strictly because they've been on video. You can create that same celebrity effect for yourself. And Scotty, I know you've done some classes on video marketing.
Absolutely.
This is a great thing. And by the way, if you want some of the past classes on video marketing, again, you can contact the loan professional that sent you here, and they can help send you some of the classes that we've done on video marketing. So,
one idea that I come up with that I thought was great, that, you know, people carry with them their cell phone 24/7, like that's what everybody has all the time.
Yeah.
So why not do a weekly phone app Tuesday, phone app Wednesday, phone app whatever. Just do a new phone app. Hey, found this new phone app. It'll do this. Found this new phone. You literally will never run out of phone apps ever the rest of your life. And it's literally a 30-second to a minute video. Hey, thought you'd like this. Here's the benefit of it. Boom, 30 seconds to a minute, and they get it on their phone. If they ever use that phone app or download that phone app, they will think of you every time that they use that app. It's just a thought that I want to throw out there.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great idea. So let's talk about, in addition to a phone app, what's some other things you could do? So the one that I have found works the best, and there's all kinds of different things you can do. The one that I found works the best is something like what's happening in your area this weekend, right? So I'm in the Palm Harbor area, which is a bedroom community to Tampa here in Florida. And so I just go in and type in what's happening in Tampa this weekend, what's happening in Kalamazoo, Michigan this weekend, what's happening in San Diego, California. Wherever you are, something's happening. I don't care where you are. Something's happening, right? And so we look, I look at one of these websites right here, things to do in Tampa Bay. It's actually done by, I guess, the Tampa Bay Times. And, it's what to do on the weekends, free things to do with the kids. And so I typically pick 3 short, easy things, like something maybe artsy, like music, something for the kids, and something outdoorsy like fishing or running or bicycling or hunting or something like that. So that's usually the 3 that I pick. And it's just a real quick video of, hey, this is Carl. Great to see you all here. Hey, we're going to be out with the family this weekend, hoping you're doing the same. Some of the cool things we found this weekend is thing number 1, thing number 2, thing number 3. So whatever you're doing, get out on the town, go enjoy yourselves, hang out with friends and family. Hope to see you out there. Oh, by the way, if you're looking to buy, sell, or refinance a home, that's what we do. We'd love to help you with that. So just give us a call. Can't wait to tell you what's happening next weekend. That's it. It's just that simple. And we find that people enjoy this type of thing,
Absolutely.
So we just pick things, and we stay non-controversial, like, and again, we're not making any judgment calls here. I'm just telling you, I found, I stay away from political things. If like, again, I'm not choosing sides on this, but like, right. Maybe they're looking to legalize, say, marijuana for medicinal uses. I probably wouldn't mention, the get-together for that club, or you get the idea. I stay non-controversial, just nice, open, fun, cool things to do. I would do maybe a breast cancer awareness type thing, Gulfport Tuesday Fresh Fish Market, and the Epcot Wine and Food Festival. And I'd probably try to pick one for kids, like what's one thing happening for the kids. So anyway, you get the idea.
Absolutely. Great idea, too, by the way, Carl. Yeah, I love that idea. Because that's just like what's going on. Like, hey, here's Wednesday, what's going on in the area. I mean, it's a great idea.
It's perfect, and people like that kind of stuff. Even if they don't go and do it, they like to just hear what's going on. So, and again, you'll sprinkle that in with what's happening in the real estate. The key to those things, guys, is keep them really, really short. So how you email them out, a video marketing email, you just record the video in your smartphone, nice, simple, sweet, nothing fancy, just like a home movie type thing. You upload it to YouTube, which is free. You grab the link to share off of YouTube, which is free. You email it out to your database, which is free, or for, depending on what email program you use, but if you're using like Gmail, something like that, it's free. And what I mean by grab the link to share off of YouTube, you just upload your video to YouTube. Like here's one that I did. I upload my the video to YouTube. YouTube gives you this little link right here. You just grab that link, you put it in the email, and you email it out, and that's it. And this is a sample of one of our video emails, what they look like. Subject line, see you this weekend, ? And then the subject, wait till you see what I found what's going on in Tampa Bay this weekend. Go here to see the short 2-minute video. See you out on the town, Carl. It's just that simple. Just nice, short, and sweet. And we just take a little snapshot of the video and put it here and hyperlink that. So when people click on it, they think they're going to see the video right here, but in reality it takes them right to the YouTube page or your video blog or whatever you want to do. So, but again, keep it simple, one shot, no editing, no bumper music. We prefer that you shoot out around like a nature scene, like maybe in front of one of your listings or, out at a park. We'd rather you get outside of your office. Now, I get it. If it's hot as the blazes and it's too hot to go outside, or if it's snowing outside or raining outside or something like that, totally get it. Do it inside the office. Maybe do it in your own kitchen, by the way. So showing around your house, and then post on YouTube. Just really, really, really simple. One other thing, just real quick, Scotty, and I know this is not a video marketing class. It's on staying in contact, marketing to your database. This just has to be a good way to do it. Just another real quick thing is what we call the video sandwich. And what the video sandwich is where you do a real short intro, which would sound like this. Hey, this is Carl. Check this out. And then you insert in a little viral video. In other words, a little video, say like on YouTube that's funny, or you see it's gotten a lot of views, like I guess the classic would be, Charlie Bit My Finger, but you've seen them. There's thousands and thousands of funny little videos that are just short, little 30-second, maybe 45-second little videos. So you do, hey, this is Carl over at ABC Realty. Check this out. And then insert in the viral video. And then you do a call to action. Hey, wasn't that funny? I just love those kinds of things. Hey, just real quick, if you're looking to buy, sell, or refinance a home or have any friends that's looking to do that, that's what I do. Love to help you out. So thanks again. Looking forward to sending you out another funny little clip next week. That's it. Just that simple. And you go, well, wait a minute, Carl. How am I going to edit that stuff? Like I shoot an intro, and then I find this
good question.
viral, and I got my. How do you edit that together? We go to Fiverr, FIVERR.com, and we put in here edit video. We got here 1,737 people. I will edit your YouTube video for $5. That's it. Have somebody else do it. Have somebody else do it. They'll even make it better than what like they might put a little bumper music on it. You get the idea. We just don't want you spending a lot of time editing.
Yeah, who cares? Who cares as long as it goes out and it looks presentable? I mean, you're not a. I mean, you said it many times. You're not a newscaster. You don't have a crew of people that come in and do makeup and editing, green screen, all that stuff. That's not what this is about. This is about staying in front of your database, letting them remember who you are and what you do for a living, and then following up with a phone call. So when they think about buying or selling, or have a friend, family, coworker that's thinking about buying or selling, they think of you, and that's everything we're doing here.
No question about it. And Scotty, I've made millions, literally. I've made millions of dollars doing video marketing in the mortgage and real estate niche. And what do they say? I've got a face for radio. I mean, I'm no Brad Pitt. Right? So, it's just real simple stuff. And it's just, all you need is, like, what do you need to do your first video? You've got it. You need a smartphone. Most everybody has. What to say. We just told you what to say. Where to post. You post it up on YouTube for free. Grab that link. Email it out to your database. And this is super.
But Carl, I don't look, like the way I look, I mean.
Well, that's true, Scotty. The way you look, that is a problem. No, I'm just kidding. So, I always tell everybody, when people say, hey, well, I'm camera shy. Guys, look, face it. It's what you look like, right? When you go out to the 7-Eleven, when you go out to the movies, when you go out showing houses, when you go out helping people buy houses, when you go listing presentations, when you're at the grocery store, that's what you look like. When you see yourself on a video, you go, oh, it makes me look shorter, taller, fatter, skinnier, older, younger, balder, too much hair, not enough hair, whatever. You're just not used to seeing a 3D dimension of yourself. That's what everybody else sees you. That's how everybody, when you see somebody else on video, you don't go, oh, boy, he looks taller, shorter, fatter, uglier, handsomer, or whatever. He looks just like him, but you look different. No, that's what you look like, right? And for some of you, that's good news. For people like me and Scotty, it's it's bad news, But even just looking like a couple good old boys, in my case down here in the swamps of Florida, I've made millions of dollars doing video marketing in the real estate and mortgage niche, just by being who you are. And by the way, this is super cool to do in combination with your loan officer because they can help you do this stuff, and it makes it more interesting to send out to your database. And the other thing is you can do a video sandwich also with a loan officer, and then send it to the insurance company database. Like you got your favorite insurance agent, have them send it out to their database. Because what's the one thing that what's the one marketing piece that insurance agents send out to their database every month?
The bill.
A bill.
The bill. I want to pay. I love getting this bill every month.
Yeah, that's all they send out. So do a video with your loan officer and send this out, and hook up with the insurance company and offer to send it out to their database. I've actually done this to a local insurance company, and we had over 4,000 people receiving our videos from this one insurance company, and it didn't cost us a dime to do it. It didn't cost us anything, right? And we had 4,000 local homeowners that were customers of this insurance company that were getting our marketing videos each and every week. We actually had to open up a separate office just to service those clients. It was amazing. Absolutely amazing.
That is amazing.
Anyway.
And but it makes sense. 4,000 people. How many people, if you had 4,000 people in your database, are going to buy a home in the next 6 to 12 months? It's just numbers, guys. I mean, think about it. It's crazy.
They say on average, let's say if somebody moves every, say, 7 years, right, give or take 7 years, that means you'd have what, somewhere between like 600 people moving that year, 700 people moving that year, right?
571.
Yeah,
if
crazy.
4,000.
Yeah, crazy numbers. So, all right. So we talked about picking up the phone and making the phone calls. We gave the scripts for that. We talked about emailing. We told what to email and how to do that. Now, the last part here we're going to talk about is what do you snail mail? What do you snail mail?
I love this part, man. I love this the best.
So, and don't get me wrong, I think like sending out, market analysis of the neighborhoods, those are real good. All that's good stuff. All that's good stuff. If you're not sending something to your database that's working, this is a real good little formula that I've been using for a long time. So let's talk about the first one. So this is month 1, month 2, month 3, month 4. And if you'll notice, it's month 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then we repeat it. Month 1, 2, 3, and 4, month 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we just repeat these 4 things 3 times a year, right? So the first thing we send out is what we call the I Like You card. So how many of you have heard of Joe Girard and know who Joe Girard is? So Joe Girard, if you go open up the Guinness Book of World Records and look to see world's greatest retail salesperson, the name that is literally in the Guinness Book of World Records is Joe Girard. He's listed as the world's greatest retail salesperson. Now, Joe sold cars, as a matter of fact. He sold cars, and if I remember right, he sold 13,000 cars in the 10 years that he was selling cars. So he averaged more than 1,000 cars a year, selling them one at a time to private individuals. He didn't sell to Hertz. He didn't sell to governments. He didn't sell to taxi services. He sold to people like me and you, one car at a time, averaging like 4 and 5 a day. Just uncanny the amount of cars that this guy sold. So they asked him, Joe, what's the number one reason you sold so many cars? And he said that what he does every month is he sends out a little simple card just like this that says 4 words on it. I like you, Joe. That's all it was. I like you, Joe. Handwritten with a handwritten envelope. And this went to his database every single month for the 10 years that he was selling cars. And the world's greatest salesperson said this one single thing was responsible for more cars than anything else, right? Crazy. Now, yeah, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. The joke goes, somebody asked him, hey, Joe, when are you going to change out that mailer? He said, as soon as this one stops working. It never stopped working. It's a very, very, very powerful thing. So now what we do is we take this, and actually I just did this for a quick demo. I actually do use blue ink. So I use I Like You, Carl. Do it in blue ink, and then do it once, take it down to the printer, and have him print up 1,000 copies of it. And then as far as the envelope, we found, and we've done the computer-generated envelopes, but we found a good old handwritten envelope's hard to beat. And so you can get high school kids to do these for somewhere between 10 and 20 cents a piece. Now, they should be able to do, because we've measured it, somewhere in the neighborhood of 8 per minute. That's how many handwritten envelopes you can do, somewhere around 8 per minute. And so if you're doing 10 cents a piece, that's $8 an hour. If you're doing 20 cents a piece, that's $16 an hour. But we don't pay them by the hour. We pay them by the piece. So somewhere between 10 and 20 cents each. So let's just say if you have 300 people in your database and you're spending what, 10 cents a piece. Yeah, you're talking somewhere between $30 and $60. It's nothing, right? It's just absolutely nothing. And so this is a very, very, very effective mailer. So that's month 1. You send the I Like You. Month 2, you send what we call the Superman letter. Now the Superman letter is something like you just had somebody list their house, and they had a problem, and you helped solve that problem. You ripped off your shirt with a big S on your chest, assuming you have another shirt under there, of course. Guys or ladies, we don't want you ripping off your shirts here, okay? You hear what I'm saying? So, but anyway, you ripped off your shirt, and a big S was on your chest, and you saved the day. So, like, let's say it was a short sale property, or let's say somebody was looking to buy a home. They didn't have any money down, but you saved the day because, there's VA programs for veterans, and it's no money down, or USDA, or FHA, low money down. You get the idea. somebody had a situation and you helped solve that problem, and then they either bought or sold a house. Now, keep in mind, when you do this, this letter is not about you. The Superman letter is not about you. The Superman letter is about the recipient. The Superman letter is about the person that you saved the day for, right? It's all about them. But obviously, in everybody's subconscious mind, they're going to go, wow, Scotty really helped these guys out, and gee, I have a problem, something like that, or I have another problem. Maybe Scotty can help me out too. So on the
third-party
Superman letter,
verification is like, there's nothing better than third-party verification is what you're doing here.
that's exactly, it's social proof. That's all it is, social proof.
Social
This is,
proof, yes.
this is a classic Robert Cialdini little strategy here, the Superman letter. So, so what you do is you write it on Word, like a Word doc, so it's printed out. You do a live signature in blue ink, and then you make 1,000 copies of that letter and you send that letter out. But it's all about the people. It's all about how cool they are and how nice they're doing. And you go, well, wait a minute, are people going to want me to share their stories? Ask them. So at closing, you'd say, hey, Scotty, hey, brother, it was a pleasure helping you buy your house. And I know we had that thing come up on the, I don't know, let's just say
the well situation that you had.
The well situation came up, and we took care of that, and everything went well. Brother, would you mind if I was to share that story with some people that's looking to buy a house so that I can share your inspiration with them, and maybe it'll help some other families out? Would that be okay with you if we helped other families out by sharing your story?
Absolutely.
They're going to say, yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
They're going to say, yeah. So that's month 2, the Superman letter. Month 3, we repeat the I like you, same thing. Now, Joe did the I like you 12, and there's an argument for that, Scotty, just to send nothing but the I like you card out. Right? There's a strong statement about that, but I do like adding in the Superman letter. So
I love
Superman
the social
letter,
proof. Yep.
Yeah, I like the social proof. So I like you, Superman letter. Month 3, I like you. Month 4 is what we call the I'm a real person just like you. So let's say on that one, you know how people at Christmas time, how they send out the little newsletter of here's what's happening with our family? That's what this is, except you do it every 4th month. And maybe it'd be a thing of like, and again, this is done on a Word doc with a live signature that you photocopy, and then you send that copy out to 1,000 people, but it all looks original. And that might be, you might say something like, hey, I'm sitting out here on the front porch, and I just saw the school bus go by, and boy, I have to tell you, I felt a tear run down my face as I thought about the times when my kids got on the school bus and how time flies, that they're off at college now and things are going well and yada, yada. So this one is about you. It's like I'm a real person just like you. By the way, you don't talk about bad things. Like if and I'm not making light of this situation, but like let's say if there's an illness in the family, pardon me, or if if somebody's getting a divorce or something like that, that's not the kind of things that you bring up on this type of letter. I'm not saying you don't share that with your friends and family members. I'm just saying that's not what you share necessarily with your database. So it's kind of like a feel-good type letter of the good thing. Everybody has good things happen in their life, so talk about the good things happening in your life on your I'm a real person just like you letter. And then again, I like you. Next month, Superman. Next month, I like you. Next month, I'm a real person just like you. And you get it. So it's this series of 4 duplicated. This is a killer mailing system. I mean,
if you did nothing but this right here, didn't make any phone calls, didn't send any emails, but did this right here, I guarantee you would increase your business. I mean, I can't make any guarantees, but I'm just telling you, you're being yourself. You're sending stuff out there, connecting, engaging, and interacting. You got social proof. I'm a real person just like you. I mean, I'm telling you that you can't go wrong. Any one of the things we've shared you today, the email part, the phone call part, you can never beat the phone call part, but the handwritten little letters like this with the signatures go. I mean, Joe Girard proved it.
Yeah, it's just absolutely great stuff. So I love the snail mail. And Scotty, you're right. If you sent out the emails that we showed you, you would get more business. If you made the phone calls and did nothing else, you would get more business. And if you did the snail mail and nothing else, you get more business. The key guys, the top producers, are the people that incorporate all 3 of these. Because keep in mind, guys, this is simple. On the I like you, heck, you only write four words on an envelope, photocopy it, and have high school kids send the mailers out. Right there. I mean, this is like a 15-minute activity. It has huge results, just monstrous results. Now, here's the thing.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
So here's the thing, though. Grab your calendar right now. And what we recommend is on the second to the last Thursday of every month, that's when your mailer goes out. So I want you, so action item here is grab your calendar again. And just like you grabbed your calendar to put in the 3 days that you're going to be calling your database, you're going to write in the second to last Thursday of every month, you're going to write, I like you on this month. Next month, Superman. Next month, I like you. Next month, I'm a real person just like you. Next month, have it on your calendar and start learning to work off of your calendar. Have it so it's written there staring you in the face, and if you work off your calendar and the second last Thursday it says, hey, send out the I like you, again, we're talking about 30 minutes of activity that will have mammoth results for you and your company. So it's killer. You've got to put in your calendar those so that it becomes consistent. So anyway, Scotty, I interrupted you a second ago. Did you have,
no, I just want to say that here's what people run into. It's like, and I'm going back to Joe Girard. Yeah, this. So he started. He begged for a job at this car sales place. He sold a car his first day, and within, I think it was 90 days. Let's see, within the second month was so good. Some of the other sales people complained and got him fired. So, like, people, I mean, it's just like when you start to do these things and you start to grow, people are going to be jealous. They're going to try and pull you down, and that's not going to work. And they think, so when Carl says put it in your calendar, just put it in your calendar, but don't let anything stop you from doing that, because I've said this over and over and over again on the last couple calls. It's not about getting more clients. It's about keeping the clients you already have, and I'm telling you, it's the real deal. And doing these little bitty things, there's no silver shiny bullet here. There's no shiny whistles. There's no special strategy. It's just building deep relationships with those that already know, like, and trust you. So I just wanted to share with you. When you start to do good, people are going to be jealous. It's okay. Let it go. His next job, he actually, Carl, he sold 18 automobiles in one day, 174 in 1 month, 1,400 in 1 year. It's just insane, this guy's records. I mean, it's just by this one little thing.
And so, guys, I know that the tendency, and we're seeing some comments here on today's live call, there's some tendency to go, well, gee, it feels kind of weird to send out something that says I like you, and should I do a postcard instead of a letter? Guys, this is the #1 salesperson in the history of mankind, according to the Guinness Book of World Records, and he said, do this. Don't change it. If it feels weird, it should feel weird because it's something different. It's like if you're going to the gym for the first time, you go, well, gosh, this hurts. It feels weird. It should hurt. It should feel. That's when you know you're getting the gain. If it feels normal, if it feels typical, that's what you did last month. You're going to get last month's results. Do something different. Duplicate successful people. That's the name of the game. It's just duplicate it, right? So I know it feels weird. I know it feels strange. Do it anyway. It's good that it feels weird. It's good that because that means it's not what you did last month, and we want you to do something different. People saying, should I do it on a postcard? No, don't do it on a postcard. Do it on a handwritten letter, just like Joe told us to. Why? Because that's what he told us to do, and he's #1, so I'm going to duplicate #1. Somebody else was saying, great question. Do we put our business card in there? Yes, put your business card in there. And that might take away a little bit of the weirdness type thing that they're putting a business card in there. And but the people in our mastermind groups that are actually doing these mailers are stating huge results, particularly, by the way, with the I like you letter. So just go do
it. Here's a great question by Lisa. I appreciate this question. Is how do I do a Superman letter when you are new? What do you feel about this, Carl? Borrowing a story of one of your partners that you work with and saying, hey, I was just talking with Tom, one of the agents that I work with, and I just wanted to share with you how we help this family. I mean, we use stories all the time of other people, right?
Yeah. So what Scotty's talking about is you borrow somebody's story. But, guys, and what Scotty's saying, and he's very correct in saying this, don't claim it as your own story, right? We never lie.
Correct.
We never lie, never deceive. Never lie, never deceive. You say, hey, one of my friends in my office, Bob or Scotty, just helped a family out with this situation, and so if you know anybody else that has situations, look, run it past us. Often we can do things that people think that they couldn't do. So call us and run the scenario by us. That's the bottom line. So great question. Yeah, borrow people's stories, but again, don't claim it.
So you have your own. Fake it till you make it, right? Fake it till you make it.
Yeah, but don't claim it as your own story.
Don't claim it as your own, correct. Give credit where credit is due, correct.
Yeah. But they'll still, since you're the one that told the story, you're the one that's going to get the credit for solving the problem, even though it was Bob. So It's a great way to do it. All right. Let's see here. So again, that's the copy of the I Like You letter. Hey, Scotty, I think we got about 5 or 6 minutes. Do I have time to show a couple?
Absolutely, man. Yes. Show some stats. I think these are important for sure.
Okay. So I've got a little bonus training here that we're going to give, and this is talks more about emailing, because emailing is my passion. I love emailing, if you haven't noticed by now. But so first of all, how do you measure success with emailing? You're looking for around a 14% open rate, by the way. That's about 14%, and getting your openers to follow your call to action is the final goal. But they're not going to follow your call to action if they don't open it. So somewhere around a 14% open rate. And then the question comes, how often should we email? And I'm going to tell you right now, if you write crap, never.
Never.
If you're bringing them good information, you could, like, if you were emailing me $100 bills, you can't come too often. And so when you're emailing out, don't just email out some canned newsletter. That's crap. You don't read those, neither does anybody else. It's crap. Don't do that, right? Email out good stuff. Email out stuff that's going to help them. A little video marketing. I love this stuff. By the way, so this is a study done by MailChimp, and it shows, if you look here, let me find my little pointer. Here we go. This is how many times they're sending out per month. It's like 1 to 31, because there's 31 days in a month. And this is the opt-out rate. Now look at this, guys. This is shocking. If you email out 1 time per month, it had the highest opt-out. If you email out 30 times a month, that's every day, it had the lowest opt-out. And this was a study done by MailChimp with over 9 billion emails as the case study. So this isn't my results. This is not Scotty's results. This is not Agent Mastermind results. This is 9 billion with a B emails they did the study on. So what we recommend is doing somewhere around 4, because it starts to flatten out. If you send out once a week, it has less than half of the opt-out rate of sending once a month. So once a week, 4 times a month seems to be a nice number. I just don't have the time to send out 30 emails a month. I mean, because I'm sending good stuff. I don't want to send crap. And so I find about once a week seems to work pretty good. Now, oddly enough, if we look here, so this is the click-through rate. What day of the week gets the highest clicks on your emails? So as we look here, Sunday gets a 9% or 8.5% click rate. Monday, about half that. Tuesday, even less. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Look at this. Saturday. Saturday is the #1 click-through rate. So, and we have found that ourselves, Scotty, that when we send emails out on the weekends, it gets higher open rates and higher click rates. So I'm not telling you not to send out here during the work week. I'm just saying if you don't send out on Saturday, you're losing about half of your viewers of your emails, which kind of makes sense, Scotty, because, in the work day, they're at work and things are going on and they're kind of busy and whatnot. On the weekend, they're sitting out by the pool, or maybe it's cold and they're drinking coffee in the morning and reading the paper and checking out the email. The phone's not ringing. The people in the office aren't tapping on their shoulder, and so they have more time to open their emails. So
relaxed. Yep.
Yeah. Effective day a week on unsubscribe. So remember, we talked that Saturday is the #1 click-through day. Well, look at this. It's also one of the lower unsubscribe days. And Tuesday, even though Tuesday was the lowest click-through rate, it was also the highest unsubscribe day. And the only thing I can think about this, Scotty, is, they get to work on Monday, they're behind, they didn't get anything done on Monday. On Tuesday, they're catching up on the emails, and they just, they're kind of fed up, and they're like, just delete and unsubscribe everything.
Delete them.
Whereas again, on Saturdays, it's one of the lower unsubscribe dates, because it tends to be people's a less stressed day too.
Cool.
Effective time of day on click-through. So this shows very clearly that emails sent out first thing in the morning have the highest click-through and open rates. And if you hit people like right before they go home from work, it has the lowest amount. So if you're going to send your emails out, if you're in control of that, send it out in the morning.
So a good lesson here is for if you have an email and it's right now, it's like 1 o'clock in the afternoon Eastern time, and I'm not, depending on where you're at listening to this, and you go, I got an email, I want to send out. Look at these things and go, man, if I save it till tomorrow morning, I'm going to have a better open rate. If I save it till Saturday, I'm going to have a way better opt-out rate, less opt-out rate. But I mean, still think about that stuff. Don't waste your emails. think about it before you send them out and go, okay, if I say this tomorrow, I might get one more view, one more open, one more whatever. So just think about that when you're doing, and I think social media kind of follows the same path.
Correct. That's exactly right. And actually, Deborah, great to have you here. Deborah brings up a great point. She's like, hey guys, if you send on a Saturday, they will not see the great weekend information, and that's absolutely true. So you have to look at some of this stuff, and I'm just giving you information, and then you decide which way works best for you and your business. But obviously, if you're sending out for the weekends, you're exactly right, Deborah. You are going to need to send out in the middle of the week. But if you're emailing out things other than what's happening on the weekend, Saturdays are going to be your best day. So we send out Thursday for what's happening on the weekend, and then we send out Saturday other things like, real estate or mortgage or, other type of information. But again, do not send out your listings to your database. That is just there's no quicker way to lose your database. Just as an FYI, when you send out an email, this is a great format to use. It's like double spaced, or like 2 lines double space, 1 line double space, 1 line double space, 2 lines double space. Do it in small little chunks like this. Don't write one long big paragraph. And when you put a link in, put the link in several times. So we put it in 1, 2, 3 times. And by the way, we use a different link for each one. They all go to the same page just so we can track which link is people clicking. And the number 1 click is the PS link. So when you write your emails, keep them short, keep them sweet, make them easy to read by putting a lot of double spaces in them, and put your link in 3 times if you do have a link. And I'm going to tell you right now, guys, the big thing of emailing, really of anything, phone calls, snail mail, like if you get somebody to send you a message, hey, stop mailing me, right? The tendency for some people is to stop mailing everybody. Don't do that. Focus on the fans. That's where the money is. Some will opt out. So what? So what? Get a yes or a no. There's no money in the maybes. And don't leave all the wealth on the table based on the fear that everybody's going to opt out, because they're not. Right? The fans are, and just because somebody opts out doesn't mean they won't do business with you in the future. They just didn't want the emails. That's okay. That's okay. Right? That's okay. All right, I see we're here at the top of the hour. So we talked about marketing your database today. Call 3 times a year. Email out once per week. We talked about that. Snail mail out once per month. We showed you about that. And again, to get a copy of this PowerPoint or a recording to this class, contact the loan professional that sent you here. Show a little love to these guys. They're putting a lot of skin in the game here. And these are the kind of loan officers you want to hang out with. They believe in helping you. They believe in educating themselves. Not only do they get this training that you guys are getting today, we also give them loan officer training on how they can help you serve your clients better. These are the kind of people that you want to be working with. Trust me.
Absolutely, absolutely. Hey, and I got a challenge for everybody on the call that's still with us. And there's a large group. Okay, I'm going to steal the screen from you real quick, Carl.
Okay.
All right. So here's what I got. So if you are not part of our group at facebook.com/groups/agent mastermind. We're at 2,500 now and growing. What I'd like you to do, if you are going to participate in one of the 3 things or all of the 3 things, go to this private Facebook group and say, I'm in. I'm going to either email, phone call, I don't care what you do, just one of the 3 that's going to help you double, triple, quadruple your business in 2014. Just say, I'm in. And I want to keep track of that stuff and just see what 1 was on the call, who 2 is part of the group and is really serious about growing their business. I don't know. It's just kind of a thank you to Carl White, and if you want to put in there, I'm in. Thanks, Carl White, for sharing us this contacting your database. That would be greatly appreciated. And anything else you feel like putting in there would be greatly appreciated as well, as far as how we can help you as loan officers, mortgage professionals, marketing, video masters, all that stuff. So whatever we can do to help you guys have an amazing, exciting, happy, healthy year in 2014, we're here for you. Also, one last note, the next 2 weeks we have Christmas and New Year's. Happy holidays to everybody. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. We're not going to be having a live mastermind class the next 2 weeks. So we will see you back here January 7th with Carl White, actually. He's going to share with us the phone border strategy scripts, how to use it. We're going to walk through it, if that's cool with you, Carl.
Yeah, that sounds fine. And by the way, I see there was a lot of people on today's call. We didn't get a chance to answer all the questions. If you'll just go to that Facebook group page that Scotty's showing there, nothing's sold there or anything like that. I'll just ask any questions you want on that page, and I'll go jump over there real quick and answer your questions. right now live. I'll block out the next 10 minutes or so and go on there and start answering the questions. And then the other thing is if you're watching this as a recording, again, just go to that Facebook group page also, and I'll go check. I check into there from time to time to answer questions too. So,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, so real good.
All right.
All right, brother.
Thank you so much, Carl, brother.
My pleasure.
Happy holidays to you, my friend.
It's an honor to hang out with you and your group of people. It's an awesome group of people, and you guys are the ones making things happen, and we appreciate it.
Absolutely. Exciting times coming ahead, guys. So enjoy the holidays, spend time with family, friends, and we'll see you back right here January 7th. I believe it's January 7th. And appreciate you guys. Look forward to working with you. Have a great day. Take care. Go to the group. Post any questions. I'm in if you're going to do one of these three things, and we'll see you next year. Bye-bye, everybody.
The organizer has ended the session, and this call will be disconnected. Goodbye.